Yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the post-fight show with Stormy B Man for this Saturday, April 6th. Now Sunday morning, April 7th, 2024. This is the post-fight show for Hitchins versus Lemos, Pacheco versus McCALMAN, and this was broadcast live on DAZN. The fight cards just wrapped up, and we got another exciting evening of boxing, man. Just proud to say that, I hang in there long enough just to be able to get what I need from the sport of boxing. Judges aside, the participants make all the difference in the world. I was out there putting out tweets. I was out there writing stuff on Instagram. Today I was a little bit active. Stormy B Man was kind of like making his presence felt because I was excited for boxing today. And the fighters. I have to say they delivered. This Hitchins versus Lemos fight was quite a battle. No one had anticipated being the type of battle that it actually turned out to be, because sometimes when there's an unfamiliar name and face, in the case of Gustavo Lemos, you just kind of don't know what you're gonna get. But on this night, it was apparent after the opening bell that this gentleman came to perform, came to win, and messaging back and forth with some brothers on what we were witnessing. I had come to the conclusion that because of the style that he brought and the way that Hitchins fights, that this gentleman, Lemos, can take every other round off after the first 2 or 3 rounds, and he still have a chance to win this fight. He never stopped being the aggressor. He never stopped pressing the fight. He was on top of Hitchins more than Hitchins or his corner would have enjoyed. And it really became apparent after about 6 rounds that that's exactly what Lemos was doing. He was using time to try his best to be a little bit elusive as an aggressor and not overwork himself, where he would have moments where he can explode. And he did exactly that. Effective aggression is supposed to be part of scoring in boxing. We see a lot of guys come forward, but not like this young man. Gustavo fought like a little mini Mike Tyson. Now, I know some people like to say Isaac Cruz fights like Tyson, but he doesn't actually. If you really look at him, he fights more like Joe Frazier, Isaac Cruz. But this kid from Argentina had some bobbing, weaving. He even, in the middle rounds, began to shoot these little dangerous, sneaky uppercuts inside. And I had said as I was watching it, man, if he decides to do the Tyson combo on Hitchins, he very well may knock him out. But he never threw it. For those of you who may not know what that particular combination is that out of the peekaboo style, Tyson had the ability to step over to the side of his opponents, typically their left side, because he's orthodox. But Tyson was the type of fighter, I think Tyson may actually be left-handed, but he fought orthodox, of course, but he could step over to a fighter's left side and throw a right hook to the body and then bring it up as an uppercut underneath at the same time as a combination. We didn't see that combination a lot prior to he coming on the scene. But what made us take note of it was such a devastating, pulverizing shot, because the right to the body typically bends a guy forward. And that's the typical reaction. You bend forward, and the uppercut would come underneath through your guard right on the chin. And then sometimes he'd get a chance to follow it up with a left hook, but oftentimes that single 2-punch combination was enough to put people in jeopardy, if not on the canvas. So I was waiting for Lemos to do that, and he didn't do it. He needs to add that to his repertoire. But an exciting fight. Hitchins held on a little bit too much for my liking, and the ref never gave a warning or anything. But it's obvious that they were rooting for Hitchins, including Clarissa Shields, who was doing color commentary along with the usual suspects, and she was rooting outright for Hitchins, and understandably so. But at the same time, they had the nerve at one point during the broadcast to tell her and remind her, you're supposed to be neutral. I'm like, are you serious? You want to say that to her. But the way that you guys call fights every broadcast, you might as well have t-shirts on for the DAZN fighter, huh? The Matchroom signed fighter. Get all the way out of here with that BS, man. Seriously, huh? But all in all, a very good, entertaining card. DAZN is killing it. Some people may not want to hear that, and they will have their bias and bigots and prejudices, but they are killing it currently. They're doing some good things out there. But we'll talk about it. Opening remarks as we will go and see who we got in the building. I appreciate each and every one of you who've come out there. First, I want to hit the couple of supers that came in. Eric Jordan out there with the super sticker. Appreciate you, Eric Jordan. A very strong supporter for the channel there. And the brother 88 Sports Talk is out there with a super chat saying, salute fam, that Mexican dude fought to win. Hitchinson looked like he was trying to survive. He was visibly hurt several times. Listen, 88, let's be respectful. Gustavo Lemos is from Argentina, brother. And if you don't know about Argentine fighters, do a little research. There is a difference, even with the women. So, I say that not to insult or anything, but just to correct, because that point should be made. And once I heard, because I was not familiar with Gustavo at all, but when I heard he was from Argentina, Drew Titan, my brother who's in the chat right now, will tell you, when I was having a conversation with him just a couple days ago, I said, uh-oh, did I not, Drew Titan, say that when we were talking? I said, hey, he from Argentina, man. Drew was like, oh, shit. I said, yeah. Right? So, there's evidence right there. STORMYBMAN is familiar with boxing, okay? Let me go and see who's out here. We got William Old School first in the building saying, salute STORMYBMAN, peace, my brother. And y'all smash the like button, people, when entering the building. Peace. James Galbraith is back after a stint away saying, what's good, Stormy? Salute. Right back at you. Universal Truth is out there saying, salute, Stormy, with the channel emojis. Appreciate you. Eric Jordan says, STORMYBMAN, salute, Sensei. Saying, Mr. Shelton's out there says, well, well, well. Yeah. That's right, Mr. Shelton. Peace, he said. Universal Truth says, Clarissa called it early. Hitchins should have been going to the body in the first half of that fight. Remind me, Universal, I got a comment to make about that, but I want to get through the roll call real quick. Learn is out there saying, salute, Stormy. What's good with you? Bear Cave Entertainment, the Painful Excellence Podcast, and my brother Drew Titan LLC, the proprietor of all three channels, is in the building. Shawalai is out there. What's good with you? She says, salute, Sensei. Salute, chat. Blessings all. Yeah. Who else we got out here? Everybody's greeting each other. Dank Father's in the building. What's good with you? 88 says, salute to William. And I got Shower laughing on something. Rasheed Rourke is in the building saying, peace to the wise man, STORMYBMAN. Right back at you, brother. And Shower says, ruining her commentary job, professionalism. Yeah, you know, you can take them out of the you-know-where, but you can't take the you-know-where out of them, huh? Yeah, we know that, huh? I see it on the social media doing them, you know, selfies with the fish lips and all of that. I'm like, oh, here we go, you know. You can't get rid of it, huh? Yeah. 88 says, my bad, he looked Mexican to me. Just go ahead and let the bias flow through you, 88. Huh? It embraces you. It makes you stronger. In my Palpatine voice. Let the bias flow through you. Adewale M is out there saying, that man reminded me of Brian Castano. Yeah, he's from the same country. Yeah. Shower says, learn I be seeing Eddie be allowing some tough fights. Yeah, he puts them in tough. He do have rematch clauses in contracts, though, for his favorites, huh? But he do put them in tough. It's not even Eddie. You know what? He's got some good matchmakers over there because, let me tell you something. If you go fight on a Matchroom card, Eddie is the promoter. But the matchmakers, man, I think that they be combing through BoxRec and everything like, I think I want to see this. Because they be putting people in tough as hell, man. And they'll grab somebody that you don't know and you ain't seen. But they may have been performing somewhere else in the world. And then they bring them out on their show, on their air. And you be like, man, where that dude come from? The Matchroom matchmakers. Maybe some of them used to work for Top Rank. Because Top Rank used to be like that many years ago. Like when they had Friday night fights on ESPN for all those years when Max Kellerman and all of them was over there. Even before Max Kellerman joined them, Al Bernstein and those guys. Let me tell you something. They used to have some hell of a fights over there on ESPN. That's why some of us grew up. We watched that and we were fulfilled tuning in to boxing over there. Yeah. Rasheed Rourke says, yes, Stormy B, he definitely used effective aggression. Yes, he did. Lerner says, I thought Pacheco and McCALMAN should have been a draw, and I thought Lemos won in a close fight. We're going to talk about it. Shower says, I'm sorry, I almost missed that. I am well, thank you. Okay, you were speaking personally. Okay. Shower's laughing at me talking about the fish lips. Yeah, you know how them ghetto fabulous bras be taking them selfies and posting them on social media and everything. Now she done started doing that stuff. She didn't used to do that. But here we go. Huh? I mean, come on, man. I used to give her tons of compliments about her fighting ability and everything, but now she done just kind of like slipped on over there and lost some disciplines. That's why a loss on the record may be coming soon. Keep your eyes peeled. You heard it from Stormy first, huh? I wonder will those fish lips turn to trembling, crying lips, huh? After the loss. Yeah. 88 says Hutchinson was looking like he didn't get the memo on how good Gustavo was. No, he didn't get the memo. He was too busy looking up Devin Haney, man. He probably was watching Devin Haney's training video for earlier in the locker room instead of warming up for the fight. But I tell you what he really should have been doing. He should have been at the barber, huh? Getting them, cocoa buds cut up out of his head. That's what he should have did. Or searching somebody's bag for a comb, huh? Can somebody give me an amen on that, huh? Yeah, that's what he should have been doing. Huh? A comb, huh? Yeah. DLP says, hey, Stormy, what's good with you? Yeah, so listen, let's get down to it with the starting with the main event. We'll start with the main event and go backwards, huh? Since the world is backwards, let's keep the sync. Listen, this fight was a great contrast of styles for boxing. The slugger and the boxer. Except for this slugger was smart. He had ring IQ. He wasn't strictly 100% a slugger, talking Lemos. He boxed. He made Richardson throw shots so he could slip and get closer and counter, which is why Hitchins was having difficulty getting off like his cornermen wanted him to, because he was being countered off of that jab, countered off of movement. It was something that was done with skill and guile. It wasn't just a guy getting punched. You see, like, Pitbull doesn't have the savvy offensively that Lemos has. He doesn't. But hey, wouldn't Lemos and Pitbull be a great fight, guys? Just like Mike Tyson and David Tua would have been a great fight, right? Think about that. Let's hope for it. Yeah, so talking about that, see, where you saw the favor for Hitchins was the fact that the ref allowed him to hold. And he held a lot. You know how they were talking about Devin Haney and how many times the fight in a round and everything he clinched? Well, how many times did Richardson hold Lemons? He held him so much, to use a Joe Frazier quote from when he fought Ali in the second fight. He said he held him so much, if he had some money on him, he would have robbed him. All through his pockets, running through his pockets. But see, what that showed me was Hitchins didn't know how to handle a fighter of that style on the inside. Even though they were talking about he should go to the body and everything, he couldn't go to the body cleanly without this guy having access to his chin or his head, because he was countering, you know, and off of the counters, because his counters were very quick. Gustavo was like ready for Richardson to throw shots so he can shoot. He already knew and had his counter shot ready to go, whether it was a left hook or right hand. And it was off of the jab. Some of the jabs, because he had the peekaboo defense, were off the glove and everything, because if you saw his face, he wasn't really banged up. And every once in a while, he would do that bob like Tyson used to do and weave out of it too. So you couldn't catch timing on that type of movement. He didn't do it all the time, but he switched it up on how he would do it. Then every once in a while, he switched southpaw, which made things interesting because the guy can punch with both hands. So Hitchins had to be careful, because whichever hand was the most effective, he had to make sure that he took care defensively. He spent a little too much time near the ropes, but that had more to do with the pressure that Gustavo was putting on him. And see, again, when you're using effective aggression, do you realize that a couple of those rounds, Gustavo won without throwing a lot of punches because he knew how to cut the ring off. He knew how to throw certain shots to catch Hitchins clean and didn't really have to work very hard through that. But the judge who had scored that 117 to 110 or whatever, I mean, please take that dude out back and give him an old fashioned, because he was wrong. When I found my final scorecard, I had it a draw. I really did. Even at the point in the fight where they looked at what's his face's scorecard after 8 rounds, and he had it even. I had it even as well. I didn't have the same rounds given to the fighters that he had scored, but I did have it nonetheless. I had it, split after 8 rounds. And I was a little surprised because I wasn't counting the rounds. I was just scoring and waiting for the next round. But I looked at it and I was really impressed with how even the fight was. Because some of Hitchins' punches weren't effective. And when you're not effective, you're not slowing the other guy's momentum, then you have to say that you got to be doing something else. Otherwise, you're giving in to just one guy because he's shooting jabs out, but that doesn't mean he's being successful. And I noticed that right away. So as I was watching the whole thing, I'm like, wow, this is a good battle. It's back and forth, a little teeter-tot, you know what I'm saying? And I liked the adjustments that Gustavo made, because it was, as I said earlier to one of the brothers, I said, if he can take every other round, because when he unloads with power and energy and everything, and you can't fight like that round after round after round. You have to take some time off. So some of what he did was, when he wasn't throwing those shots, he made sure to stay on top of Richardson and bob and weave and bump him and get him near the ropes and everything. It's given the illusion that he's dictating the action offensively, but he's not. He's dictating the action with his aggression. And the judge who scored at 117 for Richardson wasn't giving him credit for that at all. And if you can't give him credit for that, then there's no way he can win the fight at all. But you're supposed to score the fight on those kind of scorecards. Paulie Malignaggi just this past week on Pro Box gave an interview talking about the Sebastian Fundora fight, and was like, some of these judges, they need to be held accountable and explain how they got these scorecards like that. They should not just be able to walk off into the sunset and be gone. Because when you see the other judges having to fight so close, and then that judge had it by a wide margin, they have to explain themselves. And I totally agree with what Paulie said when he was saying that. And he's not the only one to have said it, but he just said it this past week as I was catching up on some of their Pro Box video segments. And Chris Algieri agreed, So we would like to see the judge that scored this fight explain to us, how did he come away with that? did he not see Lemos coming in there and pushing this guy back into the ropes and pummeling him at times? Or was he just watching the guy that he was told to favor so much that he just couldn't help himself to be irresponsible with his scorecard? Either way, it's corrupt, and something needs to be done about these guys. Trick Noti is out there. What's good with you, Trick? I see you. He said, salute, Sensei. I call him Richard Clinchins. Okay. Yeah, salute to the brother, Trick Noti, man. Shower says, and missing was wasting some of that stamina. He should work on accuracy. If you're talking about Hitchins, he needs to work on focusing on who he's fighting. And if he's gonna get in there against Sabril, Rakete. If he's gonna get in there with him, he's gonna get knocked out. Because Sabril not only breaks people down, but he finishes them off. Lemos couldn't finish him. Sabril can't give him that break in the action. He can't give it. He can't give it to him. He's gonna be on top of him big time. Oh, Shaw says no, Lemos. Well, yeah, but that's why I was saying that he would take a round off. Not just being lazy, not doing anything, but he was busy with his movement and staying on top of the guy, blocking shots and stuff. But he was conserving his energy to be offensive, because the next round he plans to have more moments of offense. It's a smart thing to do, especially since the first 4 rounds were so close. I had them split over the first 4 rounds. And I'm like, wow, you know, if he can do this and fight a certain kind of way going forward, he could steal this fight. But not with that 117 to 110 judge. I forget who that judge was. We got to find out who that is. If one of you guys could look him up for me, you know, while I'm doing the show, and just write his name in the chat. Because we need to keep our eye on them. We need to keep our eye on that guy. Because that was just some bull crap. Huh? But all in all, this fight was a darn good fight. It was much better than what we thought. That 8th round, when they were kind of going at it and trading shots, that was kind of exciting. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, look at these guys. They were doing it, man. They were doing it. But I don't believe that Gustavo's corner or he understood how hurt they had Hitchins. I think Hitchins gave a good poker face to him, because he didn't take that extra step to try to finish him. But I think had he done it, he could have at least put him on the canvas. And he didn't do that. So it was very unfortunate. Rasheed Rourke says, Hitchins said something was going on with him leading up to the fight, but he declined to say what it was. I'll tell you what it was. He was too busy focused on Devin Haney. That's what it was. All of us who are content creators were out here talking about that. We were saying, this dude better shut up and focus on who he got in front of him. And quite naturally, when fights are close, when guys don't perform at their best, when the other guy rises to the occasion. Do they ever really give the other guy credit? It's always something. Oh, I had an injury I didn't really want to talk about, or I had trouble making weight. There's all kinds of excuses, man. Excuses. Do you know that one of the things that really made Ali one of the greatest is when he lost fights, he just said, hey, let's run it back. You know? And he had plenty of reasons to make excuses. Whether it was the ladies, he took somebody lightly, he didn't train as hard as he should. All of that. Because it usually showed when he fought what it could have been, but he never made excuses. He took his losses and said, I'll be back. I shall return, he says. These guys, man, they can't wait after a close performance or a setback or whatever. They can't wait to make an excuse. But if you listen to them talk before the first bell, they talk like they done been to Mount Everest, I'm in the best shape of my life and this and that. They say it all the time. You should have it on replay, So Rashid Rourke, I don't care what excuse he gives. Gustavo Lemos came to fight and he wasn't ready for that. That's the truth. Shaw says a knockdown drag out. Laugh out loud. They fell and they ref said they both tired. Shaking my head. William says it looked like Hitchins overlooked this fight. Yeah, he did. But see, this is all the more reason. Let me tell you something, guys. I want to stop with all the other commentary for this point I'm getting ready to make right now. I've talked about this in the past. I don't drill it, but I speak on it often. This is why these judges need to score the fights correctly. Awarding guys for fights that they really didn't win, or giving them the benefit of favorable scoring, it doesn't help the sport at all. The only thing it does is placate matters within a particular fighter who have enjoyed the benefits of these actions. And what will happen is they don't go back to the gym and get better. Sometimes they'll just tell their people, I don't want to fight another fighter like that. Do you guys remember when Teofimo almost lost that fight to that tall guy, the Japanese? And he was like, oh, I'm not fighting no more tall dudes. Dude, there are tall guys in boxing. Do you think tall guys only want to fight short guys all the time? No, they want to fight tall guys like them. They want to fight everybody because it gives you a chance to have a different look and you learn from that. Giving these guys gift decisions. Do not press the sport forward. If you win a close decision that you really didn't win, it should have been a loss. You will take your butt back to the gym if you've got gumption. If you've got some kind of pride and dignity, you will take yourself back to the gym and get back on your craft to get better. So next time out, you leave no doubt. You will have high motivation because you know that there's no gift horses to look in the mouth. See, that's the difference. See, in team sports, you lose as a team, you win as a team. But in boxing, it's a one-man show. Yeah, the cornermen and everything working with you in your corner. But you're out there taking the punches and giving them. So if you've got to get better, you got to go into the lab. And if you don't do that, sometimes you can never reach that peak that may have been there for you, because you were never given a reason to have something to shoot for outside of a bag. And some of the best of the fighters in the sport of boxing will tell you, especially if they've gone through trial and error. Because remember, trial is one thing, but error is something altogether different. If you've gone through trial and error, I will guarantee you 80 to 90% of them will tell you, when I came back and had that fight of redemption, when I overcame, when I did this and I beat that guy that I couldn't beat before and this and that, they will tell you that they have a greater feeling about that than the highest purse that they ever made. Yeah, because it means something. It's just like when you've worked and you've saved up for something that you've been wanting to buy, and you can finally spend frivolously because you saved up for it, and then you acquire what you saved for, and now you feel proud of yourself, and you say, wow, you know, man, I saved up for this for like 2 years, but I got it. Yeah. These gift decisions that these judges, the only thing that they're doing is padding their bank accounts, because they're not doing it to be great guys to the fighters. It's painfully obvious that these guys are corrupt and on the take. So Universal Truth says, Tim Cheatham did it again. He always has bad scorecards. See that guy? I had a feeling it might be him, but I wasn't watching and listening to who the judges were, right? Because it's like I'd be focused on so many other things. But you know what? Let's get that guy the hell out of boxing. Seriously. Why do they keep bringing him back? Because he has a litany of fights that he's judged and got the cards wrong. Totally wrong. And the fact that his name is what it is, it's the worst part of it all. I'm serious. If you guys want to start a campaign, sign a petition, let's get Tim Cheatham out of scoring professional boxing, we should do that and send it around to all of the channels and have people sign up on it. You don't have to just be a subscriber to Stormy's channel. You could go to 78's channel, BFTB's channel, Drew's channel. It don't matter. Just go out there and sign a petition to say, let's get this guy the hell out of boxing. And we have examples that we could show over and again that this man has had improper scorecards for fights that were either blowaways or fights that were close, and his cards are always indifferent, always way off from the other two judges, always. Because you could have two judges, they could have 115 to 113, and they one have it for one guy, one have it for the other guy. That's a close fight. But then here comes Tim Cheatham with a 117 or a 118 or a 120 to 99, and he got it for one specific guy. And it's like, wait a minute, if it was a close fight, why his scorecard don't reflect the fight being close? Get him out. Just grab him, slap the cuffs behind his back, give him the perp walk straight out of the damn stadium. into a paddy wagon. He is corrupt. How many fighters have lost great opportunity for someone like him fiddling with their scorecards? We've seen so many fights where fighters come away and they don't get the reward for their efforts. And it's because of people like Tim Cheatham. Jay Gibson, what's good with you, bro? I see you out there. Lewis Hinton is agreeing with the thumbs up in the hundreds. Yeah, I just don't like, I don't like the fact that you have fighters, and I'm getting ready to get to the Pacheco fight in a moment. You have fighters that put forth the efforts like we saw this evening, and it could be a close, highly contested match, and then the scorecard be so wide. But when it's wide like that, it's usually for the wrong guy, isn't it? That's the other aspect of it. A wide margin for a guy that maybe really didn't win. Come on. I don't know, man. We gotta do something about this. But I say let's get rid of Tim Cheatham, man. Let's get rid of him. We could start one referee, one judge at a time. One at a time. Him and a referee of your liking or dislike. The same. Sign petitions to get their asses out of the game. Lewis Hinton says this cheating is killing the sport. We need to clean it up some kind of way. It's just destroying the sport that we grew up watching and loving. And now it's a joke a lot of the time. Because even if you have a split decision victory for one guy or the other, and all of the scorecards are close, then you can have a great argument for a rematch between the two fighters. And because it's so close, people can be held accountable and say, you know what? I want to prove to the world that I can beat this guy. Again, going back to the gym to put that work in and come out and get something done. That's the motivating factor. But a judge that has given you a sweeping runaway victory on a fight that you could have lost on the scorecards, that's your single argument to not work hard, to not go back and challenge things and challenge yourself or whatever. Just be complacent and, phew, I got away with that one. Yeah, that's true, Lewis Hinton. Somebody should look that up for me right now too, since Lewis posed that question. Who was the judge that had Canelo beating Floyd in that fight? If it's Tim Cheatham, I mean, my goodness, bro. There you go. Nothing else should be said. Can somebody look that up for me real quick while I get ready to start talking about Diego Pacheco and what's his name, Sean McCALMAN. Listen, man, that fight right there, I talked about Diego Pacheco a couple years ago. I said he's going to be a young fighter to watch. And, Sean is another fighter that I'm not familiar with, hadn't heard much about him, but as they talked about him early in the fight, they said he had been in some gyms working with quality fighters and has held his own and everything. But there are always guys who are great in the gym, but when the lights are on, they don't hold that same type of fare, So that's something to be thinking about when you come across that. So, but on this night, what he was able to do is present Diego with a picture of someone who had fast hands, technical proficiency, but the guy didn't have that real ambition and desire to try to win the fight, to take the fight to Diego. He seemed more inclined to be happy with he was competing and holding his own. And that's why he lost the fight. So let me see here in the chat. Shower says Craig Metcalf had it 117 and 111. Dave Moretti 116 and 112. CJ Ross had it 114 and 114. That 116 to 112 and 117 to 111, those were both for Floyd, right? See, that's some crazy stuff right there, man. 114 to 114. There is nothing about Floyd and Canelo that made that fight was a draw. Nothing. Floyd schooled him. And the guy weighed 20 pounds more than Floyd. Crazy. Now, Pacheco against McCalman, he wanted to land his right hand so bad, but he didn't set it up. McCalman was reduced to holding a lot too on the inside. Few roughhouse tactics, but Pacheco should have been banging him to the body, Mexican style. But he didn't do those things, and so therefore the judges didn't have a lot to score outside of them when they were banging each other from mid-range and from distance. But it's okay, because Pacheco needed a fight like that because he could go back to the gym and work on some things. You see, this is what I talk about. Now, McCalman, he's going to have a hard time getting fights because he had moments where he could step up and do some things, but he was more content with just, being in that special place of, oh, I'm in here, I'm holding my own. See, it's about the mentality of the fighter. And I would have told him if I was working his corner, he clearly had the faster hands. And in a boxing match, you're going to get hit sometimes. But you got to fight, man. You can't just throw a couple of shots and look clean and pretty and then hold. But Pacheco will be better as a result of this. And though he didn't look like he would normally look, it's good. Because I know he's going to look better on his next time out. He's a guy that I've tabbed as one to watch out for. Definitely one to watch out for. And if they're talking about he facing someone like Berlanga next or something, hey, let's get to it. Let's get to it. These guys need to start crossing each other out. So, well, let's talk about the ladies, huh? The young lady that I have been covering, Sky Nicholson. I talked about her leading up to this fight. She was the WBC #1 contender. And she wanted to face Amanda Serrano, who was the undisputed champion. But Serrano gave up the WBC featherweight title because the WBC didn't want to sanction her fight at a championship that was 3-minute rounds and 12 rounds, because Serrano is trying to be a breakthrough fighter. She's trying to take women's boxing to a new level. And Nicholson, she's using the she was afraid of me and this and that. But no, it was all about business for Serrano. And she made a sacrifice to do that. And Nicholson, who is not yet ready, in my opinion, for someone like Serrano, she really styled and profiled on Sarah Mahfoud. She really took that young lady to school with her athleticism, her movement, her ring generalship, her reach, and her excellent way of controlling distance between the two of them. She came out of that fight totally unscathed. She didn't have a mark on her, but she gave Mahfoud all the business that Mahfoud could take. And Sky kind of looked like a female Roy Jones Jr. in there. And I think they kind of mentioned that during the broadcast as she was doing her thing. But there were openings and there were mistakes that she was making during the fight that Mahfoud just couldn't concentrate enough to expose. Like, for one thing, her lead foot, being an orthodox fighter against Sky being a southpaw, she could never get her lead foot on the outside of Sky's lead foot. Therefore, she was lining herself up for Sky's straight left and right check hook at every waking turn during the fight. So that's what that was. but it was entertaining nonetheless. Sky looked really good. She looked really good, and congratulations to her for winning. Now, I'm going to ask you guys. I see you guys are talking back and forth. William is happy to talk about the ladies. He always. And then, boy, I tell you. Hey, you start talking about the lady fighters, man, and William come alive out there, man. Don't you, William, huh?
Yes. Me again.
William get to talking about the ladies. Yeah, we ain't heard that in a while, have we, William? It's Will again, and he's back. Shower says. You know it. That's like, hey, William been off the scene for a while, so I was just waiting for him to say something. I knew let's get to the ladies. William was like, okay. He all at a 10 hut. Boy, that ain't gonna never stop being funny, man. He say, I may be old, but I ain't dead yet. I heard that, William. Boy. But hey, I want to ask you guys something about Sky Nicholson. Is it just me, or do Sky look like Ray Skywalker? Please tell me. If it's just me, then I need to, clear my head of that. But I'm telling y'all, I'm looking at her, especially with the braids in her hair and everything like that. I say, that woman look like Ray Skywalker. I'm like, what they got Ray Skywalker out here boxing for, man? Use the Force. Now tell me, hey, you guys, is it just me or what? If it's just me, then, Stormy is like, okay, my bad. But no, I think she looked like Ray Skywalker, huh? Who's your daddy? I'm like, what? It's like, oh, man. Yeah. Jay Gibson put some flames up when I mentioned Sky Nicholson. So y'all, yeah, some of y'all like her too, huh? Hey, I think she's talented. She wanted to try to go for the next Olympics, but then she just said, no, she's just going to go ahead and go pro. But, 9 fights in, she wins her first world title. And let me say this about her, man. She, Sandy Ryan, Lauren Price, Caroline Dubois, All them young fighters, man, they are kicking butt in the sport. I'm telling you, they are some good fighters. And they got a youth movement going on because they are all, you know, fighters with under 10 fights and stuff, and they are moving right on along and are kicking some tail out there. So I'm telling you, the ones who are at the top right now, the Jessica McCaskills, Alicia Baumgardner, Katie Taylor, hey, they better watch out. Because some of these young women, oh, they are some barn burners out there. They are ready to get it going. And a couple of them got some power. Like that Sandy Ryan, she's strong and got power. Caroline Dubois definitely is strong and got power. Lauren Price. And Lauren Price is getting ready to fight Jessica McCaskill next month. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm telling you. See, Stormy, I cover these ladies too, just like I cover the guys. And I try to tell you about them so you'll know who you're looking at and everything. There's some good fighters out there to be seen. Some very good fighters. Good fighters out there. So, you know, just keep your eyes peeled for those ladies. That youth movement is something else. And I guess I'll be nicknaming Sky. I'll call her Ray. Ray Nicholson. Sky Skywalker. I always used to make up names for people like that, but they do. Hey, they look alike. I mean, she come out there. But one last fight I want to talk about was the Galal Yafai taking on that guy. What was his name? Augustine Gauto. Gauto fought pretty good in that fight. And listen, Yafai, man, I know he's talking about he wants guys like Sonny Edwards and all of that, but man, let me tell you something. He getting ready to run into some problems because that Gato, he could punch, but not hard enough to really put a dent in your thigh. But your thigh gets hit too cleanly, man. He gonna get knocked out. Cause he don't mind defense. He don't. When he spelled the alphabet, he goes A, B, C, E, F, G. He don't even mention D. he don't mention D in the fights and in the gym. So he gonna get knocked out. He gonna get knocked out. That kid, and he tried to be impressive, but Gatu wasn't the one to take him. Yeah. Yeah, DLP, Fondora's sister, she's a good fighter too. I didn't leave her out on purpose. I was just throwing some names out there. But she, at the age of 20, world champion. This is exactly what I'm talking about. These young fighters in the women's division of boxing, there's a youth movement. And they don't mind fighting each other. They will get in there and fight one another. That makes all the difference in the world. Look at all these male fighters that we have that are good fighters, but we don't know how good they are because they won't fight the other good guys. They're content with having these fights where on paper they're favored to win. Yeah, Jay Gibson, his defense is horrible. His defense is horrible. And Shower says, I like Lauren Price too. Yeah, Lauren is a good fighter. She's a former Olympian and amateur standout. You know, when you see fighters like that, and I'm telling you, they've been trying to feed Jessica McCaskill to the dogs for a while, haven't they? And she's been slowly, you know, surviving and barely, you know, pulling things out. Like her last fight against Sandy Ryan. Many people thought that Ryan should have got that decision. But now she's getting ready to fight Lauren Price. And let me tell you, that's not going to be a cakewalk for Jessica McCaskill. And as cute as I think she is and everything, you know, that cuteness ain't going to have nothing to do with Lauren Price. Lauren Price might think she's cute too, because, you know, Lauren, she likes the ladies herself. So it's like, hey, man, you know what I mean? But if she got to beat her up, she going to beat her up. I already did my breakdown video on it. It'll release the day before their fight. So you guys can look forward to that. I think that's May 10th, the day that they fight, May 10th. So May 9th, my video will come out for McCaskill versus Lauren Price. That's a good fight. Very good fight. Shower says Eddie don't like her, especially now. Yeah, whatever went wrong there, it's like they've been trying to get her to lose ever since. They ain't giving her no soft touches. They be like, we got this former Olympian that's 9-0. We want you to fight her. And then after you went after her, we got this former world champion that is on a 6-fight win streak. We want you to... It's like, Jessica's like, damn. Looking around. Boxing is a tripped out sport, man. I'm telling you. The business of boxing, huh? They will get you. Jimmy Bernard says, Sensei, what about Ebony Bridges? She is a good fighter. No, she's not. She's a tough fighter, meaning that she's taken a lot of, you know, abuse in the ring. She could take it. But, you know, Ebony, let's not confuse things. Ebony is a looker that rhymes with something else. And when she shows up at the weigh-ins, her Victoria's Secret model outfits at the weigh-ins are something that makes Williams' waistband expand, huh? So, but it's like in the ring, you know, she gets beat, man. She gets beat up. She's the only fighter I ever seen that was proud to have a black eye swollen shut and everything. She was like, oh, I'm great. I want to do it again. I'm like, masochist. Every time I see her, though, I just be thinking like, man, I need a shower or something. It's like, listen, now she's been in some tough matches, right? But she's not a good fighter. She's good to look at. I ain't being, you know, prejudiced or nothing. I'm just saying, Ebony is like, she probably do far better with her OnlyFans and stuff than she do with the championship boxing. Hey, y'all seen Malik Scott out there running around with Kate Adobo or Kate Ado? What's her name? You know, the lady that used to be on the boxing broadcast. Yeah, that's his woman now. Old Malik, huh? he done got away from Deontay. Malik's like smoking them stogies. Hey, D, I'll catch up with you later. He over there in the gym with Kate. Man, boxing is something else, ain't it? If you watch this sport, you'll see some stuff. That's okay. Deontay might need a new trainer anyway, because let me tell you something. Malik ain't gonna be focused, huh? He'll be holding them mitts up there and Deontay hit him in the chin. Cause he be thinking about Kate. He's like, 1-2, D, 1-2. Y'all know I ain't lying. I think Malik posted something today on Instagram with him and Kate in the gym. I'm like, look at this. I guess he gonna work her out and then work her out, huh? It's like, what you doing, man? You got pupils to teach out here, huh? Yeah, y'all know it's funny though. It's funny. Boxing is truly the theater of the unexpected, huh? Shower says, I'm trying to be good, OG. Shaking my head. Don't go there. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, we see stuff all the time. It's like, oh, you know. I just letting y'all know that Stormy ain't blind, huh? I'm aware of what's going on, huh? Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. I done held y'all out long enough, huh? But first of all, we're gonna hear from the man, the focus ball, huh? Yeah.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the focus ball. Dramatically improve footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a focus ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a focus ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this a very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah, maybe what's his name? Galal Yafai could use a focus ball, huh? Like Danny Dubois needed one. Maybe we could get somebody to send Yafai a focus ball because he needs to improve his defensive abilities, huh? He really needs that. But yeah, so we're gonna get ready to get on up out of here. I appreciate everybody that came out this evening, brothers with the super chat and super stickers out there. You know, we working, huh? We doing the thing, covering this sport of boxing. You know, my Kung Fu Film Focus from Thursday night netted over almost 800 views already. You know, it's like people love them Kung Fu joints, man. They love the Kung Fu joints, and I appreciate those who come out and rock with me for the Kung Fu shows. And I'm glad to see my brother William Old School back. See you out there, William. I'm glad you all right, man. I always love having you around. You know, you and Shower, you guys are my anchor for the channel. Antonio MMA wasn't out there this evening. Maybe he's a little busy working or something like that. But just know that I take note of you brothers and sisters who staunchly support me in my endeavors here, and you guys have been like cornerstones and rocks to the foundation of what I do out here. So it's much appreciated and loved. Just want you guys to know that. But yeah, we got to call in tomorrow morning, and we'll get out of here. And next week there'll be some more matches to cover. So, you know, we're just gonna keep this thing rolling, man. We'll keep it rolling. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Catch you guys on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Is this not why you were here?